Checking out the Sunrise Mountain Trail. It's not really a trail. I've done this before, but it starts off as kind of a trail and then devolves into just getting to the top of Sunrise Mountain. Never actually brought my camera with me though, so we'll check it out and see how it goes. It's neat because, I mean, I can see the mountain from my house, so not very far, and still a fun, pretty trail. And you start out with cars whizzing past you in this gravel pit thing, but end up with some beautiful views. Coming to the top of this first little ridge. First part of the trail is a climb from the parking lot to this little ridge. It's much greener than it ever has been before. I haven't been here in about a year. We've had a lot of rain for Vegas. Here's the parking lot down there. Off in the distance is the Sphere and Vegas. And that'll be the last we see of them. Over there is the trail up to Frenchman's Peak. Done that too. It's not fun. It's just a lot of up, not very pretty. Super well marked because it's a service road, but I did it to get the credit, but have no intention of ever doing it again. I think I've noticed, along with the rain, is that this trail is much harder to, well, this part isn't, but this trail coming up was much harder to see than it was the last time I came through. I've seen comments saying, you know, it's not well marked, and I would agree with that. It's more of a ramble through the countryside, ending in a climb. Wait until I get around the corner so I can actually see it. Up to Sunrise Mountain, which is that over there. Try not to fall. Okay. It smells good. It's spring, and so it has that, I don't know what it is. I call it sage, but I'm not sure if it's actually sage smell. It's, if you've ever walked in the desert when it actually has a smell, this is it. So now you can see over there, and if you tried to climb it directly, it'd be really hard because that's almost a cliff. But we go around to the left and then come up along the ridge, which is still hard, but not as bad. This part of the trail is just following this wash downhill. There's a few places where there's a kind of trail, you know, paralleling the wash, but mostly it's just pick your way through here. It reminds me more of a mountain bike trail, so it might be our mountain bike brethren that keep it visible more so than hikers. Yeah, you just pick your way down. If I recall, there's a few places where you have to climb a little bit, but it's not super intense unless it's gotten washed out. Here's the first little climb place. It's not even really much of a climb, but it's cool because the water has, over the years, dug out these rocks. No geologist. I'm gonna guess sandstone. I don't know though. It's very pretty. And then we go back to just rocks. I think there's one or two more of those, much bigger. You have to actually kind of climb on one of them. Alright. Little dry waterfall number 2. This one I'm gonna have to sort of hop down, so I'll take footage here and then do it. Right. It's depressing climbing down, down, down when you know you got to turn around and go up, up, up. hear a bunch of shooting. I don't know if there's a legal range or if people just come out in the desert and shoot. I have found bullets, not the casings, but the actual bullets out here where probably it rains down. Hopefully I'm not standing there when one of them rains. All right, we've come around this little mountain and you can see Vegas again off in the distance. Still going down the wash, but we're about to leave it. There's this cool feature up here that if it hasn't fallen, is still a little natural arch. Wow, it's much more open than it was the last time I was here. So if you want to see it, you might need to hurry. I'm assuming that was natural. People didn't just knock it all down. That used to be, I don't even know, like it was only like a few feet across the actual opening. Now it looks like I could stand up in there. So, I mean, that's how they're formed. Then they deteriorate. So nothing nefarious, but again, it's pretty. If you want to see it, come see it soon. Looks like it won't be here too many more years. I was actually starting to film because of this. This is where, as far as the trail goes, you can get lost. So little dry waterfalls, and that distracts you because you're trying to like climb down them and looking and everything, but the trail goes off to the right. So if you aren't paying attention, you will just continue going down this gully, which may be pretty, but it's not the way to Sunrise Mountain. What we're gonna do is go over here. There's this other little gully up, and if you have a GPS app, it will guide you. But if you don't, you can easily start going down that path. First time I did this, I tried to stay on the green All Trails line on the app, which takes you along the side of that ridge up there. There's no trail, and it's really tough walking. But then I accidentally found, or came down, these little service roads, or whatever they are. They go the same direction. So, recommend not following all trails right here, because you end up in the same spot. Follow these little roads, and then eventually you'll get back into the other wash, which is where we're actually going up. So at about 1.25 miles, you'll hit the second wash that will turn right on and go up. There are people down there shooting, pretty sure illegally. So just kind of be careful. I mean, it'd be amazing if any of them hit all the way out here, but still, bad luck is bad luck. And that's probably well over 1 mile. A stray rifle bullet, though, could ruin your day. I'm filming because somewhere up here, again, not marked, you have to just have the GPS app, there's a left turn. We just start going up this wash, and if you follow the green line, you get to a point where you literally have to climb up a dry waterfall. I found you can go around it much easier. I'm not a big fan of free climbing, especially not out by myself in the middle of nowhere. Props to, what is it, Alex Honnold? He lives here in Vegas, I've heard. Super awesome. Love free solo. That's just not me. Yep, so here's the turn. You go up this wash, up that way. Just trying to give some perspective on this terrain. It's pretty rough. Just stepping rock to rock. Ironically, going up these washes, you get kind of the worst of all worlds, because the shrubs that can't live anywhere else live in the bottom of these washes, and then they're alive now, but even when they die, then they're just in the way. And you got to decide when you step somewhere, am I stepping on a shrub that's just barely on the ground, or am I stepping on 5 or 6 feet of shrubs? You can see it's the water comes over these, you know, makes a pool, goes down, makes another pool, goes down. Very pretty. I'm gonna break out the gloves. Been scrambling up through this gully for 20-30 minutes. Yeah, none of it's impossible. It's just rock to rock to rock up. Down there, you can see the little dirt roads we were on. Somebody's built cairns up through here, so other humans have been here. Again, I was here about a year ago. Got stabbed in the arm by a thorn tree. That's something you see every day. It's just a tree, no leaves on it, just thorns. Only in the desert. This goes for quite a while, and then you go from scrambling in a gully to scrambling on a ridge. Pretty much the only difference. Again, beautiful. As far as the trail review, there really is no trail. Make sure you have GPS and bring some. All right, even higher now. It's a fairly clear day, so you can see Vegas in all its glory, all the way over to the other side of Red Rock. You can see all those striped formations. We were down there in that wash. Now we're up here. It's hard to tell steepness on video, I've noticed before, but just trust me, it's pretty steep. And it's not just rock. Actually, rock would be easier. It's a bunch of crumbly rock on top of rock. Still going up. Taking lots of breaks because it's lots of up. You can't even really see where it just came from. It's not a cliff, but it was pretty steep. Over there is the ridge and the wash. Came down through, went around that mountain, came up this one. And in the distance you can see that trail still to Frenchman's Peak. And again, that one goes over that mountain, down into a deep gully, and then back up actual Frenchman's Peak. Just popped over the ridge here. This is almost a cliff, straight through there. It'll get closer, so there's no need to climb. Trail review. I would only bring your most motivated friends. This is not for the elderly. I'm in my 40s, and I feel like it's close to not for me. But it's like the challenge, you know? I didn't warn you. This is a false top. I fell for this the last time I was here, thinking I was at the top. It was demoralizing. Now I know better. Oh, I actually came up a little more right than I thought. Thought I was further over to the left, so I have to go around. But, so even that peak is false. Work my way around to the left of it, and then there's a little dip, and then finally you get to Sunrise Mountain. I don't know how official that is. Maybe people just call it that because that's where the sun rises in Vegas. Because it's not very distinctive. It just happens to be the highest one in this little set of ridges. Yeah, I thought I was over there. That would have been easier. So maybe the green line does mean something. But I made it so far. Picking my way around this first little false top. You guys are probably getting tired of seeing this scenery, but it's cool. Every time I turn around, I can see more of Vegas. I'll try to keep it on while walking. This section is just these little eroded rocks everywhere. So it takes energy just to, because they slip and churn under you. That's cool looking. But again, the goal is to get to the highest one, not that one. So conserving energy, or trying to, around this first peak, but I don't want to end up so low that I lose the advantage of being on the ridge and have to go up the cliff. You hear all that grinding. That's what makes this tough. If it was just rock, it'd be much easier. Solid rock, I mean, it is rock. Ugh. Every once in a while you just kind of slip. And again, if you've ever tried to run on the beach, a sandy, not a hard packed beach, but a loose sand beach, that's kind of this is the walking equivalent of that. There's the racetrack and all the new Amazon warehouses. First time we lived here, there was the racetrack and pretty much nothing else. And a nice semi-flat section. Well, this is neat. I did not plan that. As far as I didn't like walk up on it and then come back and act like it's the first time I'm walking on it. Just a square of rocks. Sure, a bored hiker did that. Some more rocks. I don't know. More rocks in sort of a pile. If you guys think there's any deeper meaning, let me know. Actually, I think both of these are false peaks. That's the one I knew about, and I thought this was the final, but I think there's one on the other side of it that is the actual sunrise. I'll keep going until I run out of juice. Or it gets just too much. This looks intimidating, but I think I can see at least a way to pick away up through there. Again, square of rocks. I'm going to go with bored hiker rather than some sort of ancient civilization. You guys can form your own opinion. The first false top didn't demoralize me, but the second one did. I am on top of it. You can see all the way around. It does appear that mountain is 30 or 40 feet taller, maybe a little more, but it's at least a half a mile away across this ridge, and I am just out of juice. It appears very walkable, so it's not a danger or a fear thing. I'm just tired. I'm gonna sit here and have a snack, see if I get rejuvenated. If not, then that'll give my viewer a chance to one-up me by coming and actually going onto Sunset Mountain, or Sunset Peak. There's Nellis down there, flight line, housing, yep. Mount Charleston in the distance, and Vegas. And our friends are still down there shooting. I did decide to leave that final peak to other people. I've been at this for a little while, ready to get back. It's been a great hike, but I got nothing over there that I need to see that I haven't already seen. Now, if I find out there's some sort of ancient temple on that mountain, I will be very upset, but oh well, I missed it. So far, the trip down is proving to be easier than the trip up. Shocking, I know. I am going to do one slight deviation. A place where it looked much like I missed the easy way, I'm going to try it on the way back. And the nice thing is, if it gets too bad, I know I can get down the original way, so I just have to climb back up. But anyway, the hard way is up over that mound of rocks. The easier looking way is this way. I think I'm going to go with the devil I know. doesn't look too bad right here, but then I definitely see some cliffs as you get closer down to that sort of ridge. So I'm going to go back up around and go down the same way I came up. Again, a little extra walking, but a little less dying. Although it is depressing to climb up to then climb back down. Discretion and whatnot. This is where the GPS app is helpful. Again, because a lot of times all these rocks look the same. So at a minimum, you can follow your own breadcrumb back out if you know you made it through the first time. It gives you some confidence. It's tough walking on a trail when you're not sure that it, will even take you somewhere. Cliffs, dry waterfalls, etc. They can ruin your day. It's kind of funny. This way that I know I came up doesn't exactly look a lot better. But again, at least you have the confidence of knowing you made it one time. So you can do it again. Down is much easier on your breathing. You can actually talk, but I would say it's rougher on your knees and on your nerves, because when you're looking just into the rocks, nothing nerve-wracking about that, but when you're looking at like 1,000-foot drop, then you can get nervous. Although it's not really 1,000 feet. I mean, I would just tumble 10 or 15 feet until I stopped, but you know what I mean. I didn't look at my GPS for a while, so I got a little off track. But again, coming down is much easier than going up. Just came down through all that somehow. Over there, and then down to here. And almost back to this wash, where there's like one semi-difficult dry waterfall to get through. And then we're home free. Alright, almost back to the dry waterfall. And I ignored that cairn over there at my own peril. I had to backtrack and go around. If you see those, especially out on a trail like this, it almost always means, hey, this is the best way to go. So thank you to whoever set those up. I've seen some reels and TikTokers complaining about how that messes up nature. I have no idea what they mean by that, because there's rocks and those are other rocks. Actually, you can see whoever it was really nice. Here's the one at the top, and if you come up this draw and then go to the right, which is what I did on the other side of this rock, you hit about a 20-foot cliff face. I tried to climb it. It got a little sketchy, so I backed up to see what I could see, came around and actually up, climbing through there. But now I see, here's the cairn, there's one down there, so you can see the trail kind of goes, and there's one right out there. So they're guiding you around the gentle slope. So again, thank you, whoever you are. The thing I take away from this spot, or this part, is it's just rugged. Well, the whole thing is rugged, but I mean that. I don't mean don't come out here. I just mean it's rough. It's beautiful. But you just gotta bring water, know what you're getting into, and keep plugging. And if you get too... That's funny, I did this the last time. Somehow I ended up on this little ledge, and I'm not down in the gully, but I made it back to the wash. All I gotta do is sort of slip slide down this little gravel hill, and I'm back in kind of civilization. There's signs down there, maybe saying don't hike this way. I don't know. I'll go check it out. Okay, the top sign, can't even read it. The bottom, Las Armas están en uso. Prohibido el paso de vehicles. Something something desados. I'm gonna guess Las Armas is guns. I don't know which direction the sign was pointing or how long it's been down. I'm not going to go further up that way. I came from this way, so I will just depart and hope I don't get shot by Las Armas. Be careful as you come back up through here. There's multiple washes that join, so make sure you select the right one going back out. As with almost everything hiking out here, if you do get lost, you can just backtrack or just set out across the, to cut off the corner of once you realize you're mistaken, because usually you can see where you're trying to get to. Back to the ridge where all this started. I don't even know how long ago. Nice. The vehicle is still there. Always good. So in conclusion, you might ask, you thus far defying defier of death in the desert, how would you rate this trail? First off, I wouldn't call it a trail in the normal sense. I call it a desert semi-controlled adventure. So if that's what you're looking for, this is a good choice. It's tough, but actually it's only as tough as you want it to be, because it continuously gets tougher. So if you want to try your strength, you can just do it, and then if it gets too hard, turn around, because it is an out and back. Have to have a GPS app of some sort, unless you truly want to just wander through the desert. Otherwise, I mean, I know where the trail is and I still lost it several times. So that's it, and then take plenty of water and enjoy yourself.